last day for the time being. Yes, I should say that. I hope they continue. Well, anyway, they are in the studio here to talk to us on what we need to know this day. I've got in the live studio Safia Mohammed, an IT officer and data analyst. Good morning and welcome, Safia.
Hello, good morning.
And also Adedoyin Betiko, a senior communications expert at NIM Foundation, is also in the studio. Good morning, Adedoyin.
Good morning, Abuja. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, guys. Okay, as you know, Nigerians have become cyber creatures. You know, we spend a lot of time, a significant amount of time online, surfing the internet, searching and communicating as well. There are the good, the bad, and the ugly involved in that, and this is what the Cyber Safety Radio program is all about, educating us on online safety. So this morning, I would like us to start with a recap of what we've been talking about since Monday. So I'll start with you, Safia.
Okay.
For people that have missed out all these, editions.
Okay. So basically, we've been talking about the safety of staying online. We've been talking about how to protect yourself online and what you should actually do if you should get hacked or if there should be a breach in your account. Some of the steps that we have suggested to stay safe is to regularly update your password, use strong passwords, use multi-factor verification, make sure you use anti-malware to protect your devices. Also make sure that you back up your files and stay aware, be aware. We've also talked about what you should do if you should get hacked. Make sure you report the issue to the app developer. You should also reset your passwords and monitor your accounts. Make sure that no unauthorized activities are being carried out.
Okay, Adedoyin, what would you like to add?
Yes, definitely. To add to that, a lot of things are going on right now, and because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of us have been forced online to new realities without prerequisite knowledge of how to stay safe online, how to protect our data, identity online, and cyber criminals are using that as a leverage to gain access into people's accounts, and sometimes blackmail them towards ransom and whatnot. And so we hope that with this program we're able to sensitize Nigerians on how to keep their password, their accounts safe, and also, as we'll introduce in the show, how fake news and misinformation can lead into people getting hacked and falling prey for cyber crimes.
Okay, remember the program is an audience participatory program. That's a cyber safety radio program. You can call us on 0705 353 8929 if you have any question for the guests that we have in the studio. They're capable of handling your questions. All right, Safia Mohammed, let's talk about the common activities online that can result to accounts getting hacked.
I think the most common activity is just neglect. People neglecting the security of their accounts. A lot of people are not aware that just your password isn't enough to keep you safe. You also need to take some certain security steps to ensure that your accounts are safe. So like I mentioned, use strong passwords. Don't use 1234 or your name or something simple, because the thing is, hackers have a dictionary that they use to hack accounts. So, and this dictionary is constantly being updated. When accounts or platforms online have security breaches and passwords get leaked, they actually get added to that particular dictionary. So that's why sometimes you'll get a notification on your device saying that your password has been detected in a breach or a leak. So you should change your password. So make sure you always change your passwords if that should happen, and also use strong passwords. Another thing you should do is to use multi-factor authentication. When you come to log in, just don't rely on your password. You can use text verification or email verification where they can send a code to you. Or you can also use Google Authentication app or the Microsoft Authentication app. Both of them are very easy and simple to use, and they can be downloaded from the app or Play Store. Another thing is people usually connect their social media accounts to some of their other accounts for ease of login, or so that they'll be able to post, like if you post something on one account, it will reflect on another account. Even though that seems to make life easier, if one of those accounts should get hacked, it basically compromises the other account. And the last thing is clicking on links. So an example I gave the other day was on Valentine's Day. A lot of people received this specific message from somebody in their DMs saying that I have spent time and effort creating something for you. I hope you like it. And then there's a link. And when you click on that link, it's a fake Instagram login that requires you to put your password in. And if you put your password in, the hacker gets your password. So make sure that you're always aware. If you get any links from people you know, people you don't know, make sure that the link is actually real. If it's from Instagram, it should say instagram.com. It shouldn't say insta.gram.com. So just stay aware. Notice these tiny variances that can occur, and just stay safe.
Okay, Sophia, you talked about a password, using strong passwords. But I remember that sometimes you're told to use easy to recall passwords that you can't forget. Like that's why you see some people using their birth dates, names, children's names, or even their surnames or what. So when you now use a strong password, or should I ask, what do you mean by strong passwords? Passwords you have to write somewhere to remember what?
Okay, so strong passwords typically consist of a combination of lowercase, uppercase letters, numbers, and symbols. And it should also be at least 8 characters. Yes, you can use something you know that's easy to remember, but just make sure that it has that particular combination and it's not something somebody can guess. So for instance, if you're going to use your child's name and somebody probably knows the name of your child, you can write it in a way you can replace certain characters with other numbers that are meaningful to you. Another trick that I like to use is that use your native language, because most of these dictionaries are in English. The dictionaries that the hackers use, most of the words there are English. So if you use your native language, a word in your native language, and you insert, just mix it with lowercase, uppercase, numbers, and symbols, it's okay. You can also actually write your passwords down as long as it's in a safe place.
Okay. All right, I'm coming to you, Adedoyin. You have something to add, especially when she made mention of clicking on links that you are not sure of. We see people, getting involved in that. You have these people advertising or promising or promoting one offer. Would you tag that to greed that will lure people into?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think during the course of this week, you mentioned social engineering. And one of that is where the algorithm of the social media platform that you're on looks at the kind of things that you do online. So whether you're the one that sees one woman gave birth to a phone, you clicked on it. One person did this and you clicked on it without verifying, without saying to yourself, could this be true? Why are they sending this? It would assume that you're that kind of person and it will keep on pumping that kind of information to you. Now, embedded in those kind of information, sometimes All you need to do is just to click on the link, and the hacker on the other side of the world or on this other side of the phone has access to your account. So misinformation and fake news has a way of trickling into everyday life. We are on social media, we see that there's a lot of news almost every second, every minute. And so embedded in some of them are viruses, are links to where you can be hacked and so on and so forth. Like you mentioned, sometimes you see a link that says something.instagram.com, and you're sure that Instagram is Instagram.com. But because you don't know, you go to click it because you see Instagram there, and this is just one of the many ways. You see maybe a juicy or a really interesting gist online, and you go there, you click on it, and it takes you to another site. Before you know it, they're asking you for your password to see the site, do your password. Or sometimes when you want to download all this free or cracked version or something, or music online, movies online, that's what something that we do predominantly here. All those things have a way of trickling down, and once the algorithm notices that you're this kind of person, because they want to keep you on their social media platform, they'll keep on pushing such information to you. And so once you click on it, there will come a time, maybe it has not happened to you, but there will definitely come a time when you fall prey of this kind of thing. So we are hopeful that with these messages that we are passing out, people are more conscious about what they click online. Our African moms, please, it's not everything on WhatsApp BC that you see and you send.
Broadcast.
Yeah, so please, let's also be very, very careful about this.
Okay, Sophia, let's talk about the small and medium scale enterprises who also do businesses online. So can small and medium scale enterprises, what can they do to protect their businesses online?
Okay, so they should also follow the strong passwords protocol, the multi-factor protocol as well. The small businesses and medium-scale businesses should also ensure that they use a strong and reliable hosting company, something that is secure and wouldn't let their apps or websites get compromised by hackers. They should also ensure that they back up their files. This is important. You can do it on the cloud or on a hard disk. Just make sure that if it's on the cloud account also needs to stay secure. Businesses should also ensure that their employees are aware of the cyber threats and also what they should do to protect themselves. It's also important that they use anti-malware on their devices. They should also update their software regularly, because what people don't, and I know a lot of people find it difficult to keep on updating their software, but the thing is, sometimes these updates contain security patches that help with a vulnerability that the current version has. So if you update it, you're safe. But if you don't, hackers can actually use that vulnerability in order to access your device.
All right, remember, it's an audience participatory program. If you have any question to ask on cyber safety, you can call the number 075 353 8929. 075 353 8929. Okay, this is a cyber safety program brought to you, a collaboration between NEEM Foundation Institute and Thrive Online Nigeria. Okay, let's talk about fake news. And I've been wondering, is it possible for us to believe everything we see or on internet? So Adedoyin, how can fake news, misinformation, and targeted posts be used to infiltrate unsuspecting internet users? And can trusted sources of information truly be trusted 100%?
Thank you for that question. First off, for people who are asking, what is fake news? Fake news is a false information or false post or false story that appears to be real. And the aim of people sending out fake news is to generate action. So there are three things. One is fake news. Two, that's false news. Two, it will appear to be real. So they will use real world scenario. They use people that are actually existing, situations that are existing and the aim of that is to spark an action, either negatively or in favor of whoever is sending it. Now, this can be used, like I said earlier, it can be used in targeted posts, targeted ads. When people have an idea, all these social engineers, what they do is that they monitor the kind of activities that you do online. That's if they really mean someone, as we say in Nigeria, if they mean you, right? They'll follow you like a regular person online, and then they will monitor the kind of things you like, the kind of things you post, whether you're a person who loves dogs, for instance. This happened recently. I think Sophia gave an example of that earlier in the week. If you're someone who loves maybe a particular, all these puppies, they will probably send you, once they notice that about you, they will send you a link that says join a club of puppy owners of Abuja, for instance. And once you click on that link, it already starts doing its work on your phone or your computer or your social media. Now, the longer you stay on that link would actually take you to somewhere, a legitimate page. Maybe they've designed it and everything. And before you suspect that, oh, this could be fraudulent, they've already gained access. The next thing you know is that someone is sending you a DM on your own phone with your own account that you should pay XYZ, otherwise we'll leak this, we'll leak that. And so we must be very, very careful about the kind of information we put out there. There's this Yoruba adage that says that if the world does not open its mouth, the lizard will not enter. So we also need to be careful the kind of information we put out there, because these are the things that social engineers use to then track our pattern of internet use, and then they can target us with certain piece of information. Also, fake news is still part of it. If you're someone who does not verify the kind of news that you click on or you spread, this has the ability to, so for instance, maybe there's a link that has that embedded in it, a virus or something, or a Trojan malware. Even if you do not click on it, maybe you're not interested, the fact that you reposted it without first verifying if it's real. And the way to verify if it's real is not by just clicking on it. If it's a piece of news, check other news sources, credible news sources, and then take it with a pinch of salt before you act on it. Now, on the part of misinformation and on the part of targeted audience, the way it can be used is that once you share those kind of things to other people, they also become vulnerable to the whole thing. And you asked the last question, can sources of information be trusted 100%? There was something that happened, I think, late last year or this year about a false news about one political person. And even the news agencies, because everyone is rushing to be the first to break news, they spread out that misinformation. And a lot of people had shared it before the news agencies took it back and said, oh, it was wrong. But a lot of people had shared it, families had started mourning and so on and so forth. And so the news platform you see online and you trust yesterday does not mean you trust them today. Always take everything you see online with a pinch of salt and be careful and cautious.
Okay, Cynthia, there's this fear and suspicion on the minds of many Nigerians that I know. I get such fear at times. You are now afraid to go online, even when you have the need for it, because of being the fear of being hacked, online. That is most common these days. So, and I'm wondering. If you could let us in again on the common forms of hacking in Nigeria and how to avoid them when you have.
Okay, so I think the most common form of hacking in Nigeria is the one that Adedoyin just mentioned, which is social engineering. Social engineering is a broad term that is used to describe how people trick other people into getting information. And one of the common types of social engineering is called phishing. Phishing is when, just like the example that Adedoyin gave, you get a targeted ad sent to you about something that you like. And when you click on it, a lot of things can happen. Of course, it depends on the hacker's intent, but something common is called a Trojan. A Trojan is a type of malware that is used to open backdoors in your system. Now, when you click on the link, you don't know that you've actually activated the Trojan, and that would just give the hacker access to your device or your computer. Another common hacking activity in Nigeria is business email compromise. This is when hackers hack business emails and they start to send false information, or they do something that's called spoofing, which is also similar to phishing. But I think it's also important to point out other cyber threats that we have in Nigeria, such as gender exploitation, online child abuse, cyber terrorism, election interference, and even online scam.
Okay, so what is Nigerians' response to cybersecurity and safety of its citizens, and how can we take advantage of that?
Okay, recently, the federal government revised their national cybersecurity policy and strategy. I think they first released it in 2014, so they updated it last year. And it's very in-depth, and it teaches citizens basically what to do to protect themselves online, what they should do if they should get hacked, the role that everybody plays in actually keeping everybody safe online. I know that there is a platform called set.gov.ng. You can report all cybercrimes that you see. If you witness it or if you experience it, you can please feel free to report it, either individuals or corporations. There's also antifishing.ng. You can report phishing there.
Okay. You have anything to add, Adrian?
Yeah, absolutely. So with this website that Sophia just mentioned, this would also, apart from the fact that it will help the federal government of Nigeria take certain steps towards ensuring that the platform is safe, it also helps serve as a database where they're able to collect similar or common threats to Nigerians online, and they're able to quickly tackle these things and bring it to the policy level, interacting with the online providers. As we know, the federal government had an interaction with Twitter recently, and they were forced to look at their policies on how they can revise certain things with regards to freedom of speech and expression on that platform. And so things like this, reporting situations like this, help the federal government to take necessary steps towards providing the adequate security and safety online for Nigerians.
Okay. Before we take a breather and then call it a day on the program, I would like to ask again: is it possible to eradicate all forms of cybercrimes in Nigeria?
I don't want to say nothing is impossible, but I think the way the world works, if there are people trying to do good, there will always be people who are trying to do bad. So it's more of, yes, we wish that it will be completely eradicated, but you can also do a lot to make sure that you don't fall victim and others don't fall victims to the people who intend bad.
Okay, we'll be right back in a jiffy. Stay right here. This is Capital FM 92.9, and the program on is a Cyber Safety Radio.
Na yin batun ilimin zamani, ku saurari kalmar da zan bayani.
Gwamnati tana jinjina wa malamai wajen kokarin da suke yi na koyar da yara ilimin Muhammadiyya tun daga babbako har zuwa inda sukan bude idanu wajen sanin baki domin karatu da rubutu. Gwamnati tana alfahari da hakan dubi ga muhimmancin hakan wajen rayuwar dan adam. Bugu da ƙari ya zama kusan wajibi ga malamanmu su taho domin a dama da su wajen harkokin zamani. Hakan shine rayuwa. Ilimi fanni biyu shike kai kololuwa a rayuwa. Sai mu kokarta mu rungume ta. Gwamnatin Najeriya na kira ga iyaye da su tarbiyyantar da 'ya'yansu ga samun ilimin duniya da na lahira. Wannan tsari na zuwa makarantun alkur'ani mai girma da na zamani babu shakka an yi ne domin samun rayuwa mai amfani ga al'ummanmu. Iyaye da malamai kar a manta da horon alkur'ani mai girma wajen neman mai kyau a duniya da kuma mai kyau a lahira. Sannan malamanmu ka amince wajibcin tsafta na jiki da muhalli a kansu da kuma ɗalibansu a kowane lokaci. Wannan sako ne daga hukumar ilimi bai ɗaya watan UBEC.
Right, it's still Capital FM 92.9 and back onto the Cyber Safety Radio program, and we're wrapping up right now. So in 30 seconds, Adedoyi, talk to us about how we can combat fake news.
So the best way to combat fake news is to be prepared yourself. Like Sophia said just now, if there are good people, there will always be bad people. There will always be people who are pushing out fake news for one malicious intent or another. So you must ask yourself 3 questions before you repost anything. 1, what does this mean to me? 2, why is this person sending it? 3, what are the possible actions that me sharing this kind of information can lead to?
Okay, Sophia, how we make cyberspace safe for Nigerians? Yeah.
Okay, make sure you don't repost links or send people links you're not unsure about. Also, do not open links that you're unsure about. Make sure that you always use strong passwords. Don't share your password with any unauthorized application or website. Make sure you scan your devices all the time for malware, not just only antivirus. Use anti-malware. Also make sure you back up your files so that even if something should happen, you will still have your files intact.
All right, thank you so much. I've been talking with Sefia Mohammed, IT officer and data analyst, and Adedoyi Betoki, senior communications expert at NIM Foundation. Thank you for coming to educate and sensitize Nigerians on cyber safety.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Cyber Safety Radio program. It's a collaboration between NIM Foundation and Institute and Thrive Online Nigeria. For more, you can visit thriveonlinenigeria.com. My name is Onyinye Agiriga. Shortly, we'll bring you The Nation at Noon from our network service.